Hi everyone, we're going to continue with Module 5, Lesson 32 today on subtracting mixed numbers with fractions. So we are going to write this first subtraction sentence down, 4 6/8 minus 3/8. Remember, there are multiple ways you can solve for this. We're going to solve this first subtraction equation using a number line. So once you have this written down, let's get our number line below so we can represent where 4 6/8 will be and where it will be when we subtract 3/8 from it. We're going to make our number line 5, 4 in the middle, and 3 at the very end. What will we be breaking apart this number line into based off of our population in this fraction? Well, since our population is 8, we know that we're going to be breaking apart our number line into 8. So take a moment to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You can always pause this video and resume it when you are ready. We want to label with a solid dot where 4 6/8 is going to be. So go to your whole number of 4 and then count over 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Make a solid dot where that will be located. Now that you have that information, we are going to subtract 3/8 from it. So let's use our arrows to show where we will land when we subtract the 3/8. 1/8, 2/8, and 3/8. We will land right here, and you can mark that with a hollow dot. So now that we have both of our information and we represent it visually, we're able to see exactly what that mixed number is. Well, we know we have at least 4 wholes, and how many 8s do we have? 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, giving us the difference of 4 and 3/8. On the right side of this page, I have the new subtraction sentence, 5 2 6s minus 5 6s. So take a moment to write that down, and then we are going to create the number line below. We are going to have our whole numbers of 4, 5, and 6. And be thinking of what we will be breaking apart our number line into based off of our population. Our denominator is 6, and denominator is another word for population, so we know we're breaking apart this number line into 6 pieces between each whole number. 1 6, 2 6, 3 6, 4 6, 5 6, and 6 6. 1 2 3, 4 5, and 6. Now that we have it broken apart into the 6s, we're able to label where 5 and 2 6 will be on this number line. 5 wholes, 1 6, and 2 6. Let's put a big dot right there on the 5 and 2 6 mark. Now we know that we're subtracting 5 6s from it. So we're actually going to end up not in the 5 whole numbers, but we might end up in the 4 whole numbers. Let's see where we will end up when we subtract 5 6s, and let's use arrows to represent that. 1 6, 2 6, 3 6, 4 6, and 5 6. You can put a hollow dot where we land. So as you can see, we landed in the 4 wholes section. So we know that we're receiving at least 4 wholes, and then let's count how many 6s we have. 1, 2, 3. Giving us the difference, 4 and 3 6s. I'm writing one more. We're going to try to fit one more on this page, and it's going to be 7 1/5 minus 4 5. And again, we are using the number line to represent this visually. So let's make our number line. Once you have finished writing this down, we are going to make our numbers from 6, 7 wholes, and 8 wholes. And since our population is 5, we know that we're breaking apart each whole number in between by 5ths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now that we have labeled where or what our number line should look like, we're able to find where 7 1/5 is going to be. So go to your 7 wholes and then count over by 1/5. Making our 7 1/5 mark right here. Now we know we're subtracting 4 5. So what you should be recognizing now is that we're not going to end up in the 7 holes mark. We might end up in the 6 holes. So let's use arrows and let's count back 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're able to put our hollow dot here, showing us that we land in the 6 hole section. And we have how many fifths? Well, let's use our arrows to show 1/5 and 2/5. So we are given the difference of 6 and 2/5. Now in this question, we're given a similar type of subtraction sentence. We have 6 and 1/5 minus 3/5, except this time we're going to solve it using our arrow way. So what we want to do is we want to make this 6 and 1/5, we want to make that a whole number of 6. So I know that that is my goal. So I want to find something that I can subtract with or subtract from in order to make this 6 and 1/5 a whole number of 6. And we're going to borrow that from our 3/5. So what we want to recognize is we have a fraction next to our whole number. We have the fraction of 1/5. If we subtract 1 minus 1, or 1/5 minus 1/5, we are given the whole number of 6, because 1 minus 1 gives us back down to the 0. So we are given just the whole number of 6. So now that I borrowed 1/5 from the 3/5, I'm able to take that remainder and subtract it with 6 holes. Well, 1/5 minus 3/5, or 1/5 taken from 3/5 gives us the difference of 2/5. So I'm going to attach that now and make a subtraction sentence with the 6. And I'm just going to write it here so we have more room, giving us 6 and 2/5. And this is where you can use standard algorithm to solve for 6 minus 2/5, but we're going to show it in a number line so we can visually represent where it will be on a number line. So we're going to make 6 holes in the middle. We'll make 7 here, and we'll make 5 on the very left side. We know we are starting, and when we start to represent something on a number line, we want to break it apart by the population, or by our denominator that we're given. We are given the denominator, or the population, of 5, so let's break apart our number line into fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We are going to put a big dot on where our whole number starts. And our whole number that we are given is 6 holes. So let's put our big dot on the 6 holes. We know we are taking away or subtracting 2/5, so we're going to use arrows to represent where we will land when we subtract 2/5. 1, 2. Landing us in the 5 hole section, giving us a mixed number of 5 holes and 1, 2, 3, 3/5. So for this next and last practice question that we are going to use, we are using the arrow way, and we are given the subtraction sentence 7 and 2/3 minus 2/3. Now what I want you to recognize is what we want to do is we want to make this 7 and 2/3 to equal the whole number of 7. And what we need to do is we need to borrow from our 2/3 in order to give that to our mixed number. So we want to make the 2/3 back down to the whole number of 7. So how many thirds do we have to borrow from this fraction? Well, I know that 2 minus 2 is going to give us back down to the number 0. So I'm going to borrow 2/3 because 2 minus 2 gives us back down to the whole number of 7. So now that we have the whole number, we're able to see what we have left over. Oh, do you recognize something? You might recognize that when we borrow 2/3 from 2/3, and when I borrow 2/3, I'm given the whole number of 7. So now that we have that whole number of 7, we're able to see what we need to subtract based off of what we have left over in this right fraction. We'll take a moment and look to see what we have left over when we borrow 2/3 from the 2/3. Ding, ding, ding. If you notice that we have nothing left over when we borrow 2/3 from 2/3, we can recognize that our answer is going to be the whole number of 7. We do not have to take that extra step and make a number line because we have nothing left to subtract when we borrow the 2/3 from 2/3. Keep practicing these number lines and these thirds. So keep on doing a great job in practicing this work and keep up the good work in Module 5, Lesson 32, practicing both types of strategies when you complete your homework and problem set and exit tickets. Have fun today and do great.